Hello and welcome to Lesson 4, How to Use Exam View Player. In the previous lesson, I showed you how to use Test Manager. And in this lesson, we're going to use that information so that the students can take the exam that you assigned to them. This is where we stayed off. We assigned Chapter 1 retest to the specific students. The very important thing here is that the students must enter their student ID correctly so that it can assign them the grade to their specific student account. So let's get started. The first thing is we're going to launch Test Player. And the first thing that the students are going to see is the name and the ID to enter. Sometimes, well, most of the times, the name doesn't really matter. What matters again is your student ID. If they get this wrong, the application won't allow them to continue. So I'm going to use my account. The next point here is that the students won't see any exams because the folder here is not pointing to the right network folder. So let's go ahead and change that. Click on the folder icon. The map drives that you would see at school are located at the bottom of this list. Remember, this is the one that I can see at school. I'm not at school, I'm at home, so I created my own. So this one is the one I'm going to use. This is where I saved the exam for the retest. Double click. I saved it in the exam view folder in the exam view tests. So once I select that, click select, I am able to see the two tests that I've created so far. The one that I'm going to take is the retest. Click on next. Now, if you remember correctly, in the last lesson, I told you that it's recommended to provide a password before so that the students can access the test. Well, here it is. I think I selected password as password. Click on next. So on this screen, you will see the name, the ID, and the test. So the next step is to click on start, but you can clearly see that I have given them 45 minutes to complete the test. So this is what the students see. The questions are on the left side. I did select 20 multiple choice questions with a combination of true and false as well. But it's very self-explanatory. You click on the answer, either on the left or on the right side. Then you move on to the next one until you get to the end. For demonstration purposes, I will not answer all the questions, but here's a true and false. Select true. You see the timer is counting down. When you think you're done, you can click on the go to, and this will show you which questions have not been answered and which ones have been answered. So I can clearly see that I haven't answered half of the test. So I can go to 1, answer it, and move forward. Again, for demonstration purposes, I will not finish the test, but once the test is done, we can click on the button that says end. A little prompt is going to say that I haven't answered everything. You have answered not answered 12 questions, which is okay. I'm going to click continue or yes. And this is the score. Your test score is a 15. Would you like to take another test? I did not give them that option. I know that there's 2 tests that they could have taken, but in this case, we're just going to say no. And that's it. This is how a student would take a test using the test player. Now, the students don't have to do anything. They just clicked on yes to submit the test, and in the same process, that score was sent to Test Manager. The last step is to retrieve the students' scores once they have taken an exam. For that, we need to go back to Test Manager, and I currently just see my score right there, but normally you will not see any scores until you do this process. So you would go to Assignments, Get Results, and select the option that says Land Test. When you do that, all students that have taken the exam, their scores will show on that column. Now there's a couple of things that I want to show you as well. If you right-click on the column and select Edit Score, you will see the specific responses that were taken with the correct answer. You can see it for these individual students. Tom, these are my scores. I didn't answer some of these. As you can see, they're blank. And the other students haven't taken their exams. But for example, let's just say that the student says, but I answered, or he's got a legit reason why some of the answers weren't entered correctly. Well, if you feel that you need to change and give that student the correct score, you can do that right here. Another useful resource is when you go to Reports and you go to Assessment Reports by either student or class. This will bring up, let me just click OK. These are very nice options, but really it's just click OK. This will give you a summary of the assessment's results for your class, where it'll show the duration of time that was taken, the start time, and at least how many attempts with the score. So this would be very useful for you to print out and enter your grades into the district gradebook. Another report is if that individual student wants to see what the responses were, you can print this out for them so that they can have for their records. And this will conclude the ExamView Assessment Suite tutorials, video instructions. Thank you for watching.